Welcome back, episode 22 of the Recap Room podcast. And I start every episode off by saying it's the best episode ever because we have to do better each episode than the previous one. 100%. I think that only makes sense. I'm joined here by my lovely co-hosts, Gordy Baba, Sasha Rajko, and to the left of me, the lovely, amazing, retired real estate agent turned real estate investor extraordinaire, Aram. I want to make sure I get your name right. We've known each other for a few
last
years.
name?
Yeah, you say it, and then I'm going to say it.
You say it.
You say it first.
True. Fair. Aram Ghazaryan.
Actually, not bad.
Okay. Not bad.
I go Ghazaryan, but Ghazaryan is just as good.
Just as good.
Yeah.
So
It's a little Midwestern twang to it.
Ghazaryan.
Yeah.
You wouldn't correct me if I said it like that.
Nah, wouldn't care.
Yeah,
First, nobody ever says my last name.
Yeah.
You know, if you have like an easy, like a Kaplan, I'm gonna call you Michael Kaplan.
Or Cap.
Or Cap.
Yeah.
No one's ever gonna call me Aram Ghazaryan. How are you doing today? Unless I owe them money. Aram Ghazaryan, you owe us money.
Yeah.
It's the only time that'll happen.
Can you verify your date of birth real quick?
Very true. So, I think the reason why I wanted, and we all wanted to bring you on, and for the backstory, I've been watching Aram for many, many years. Since I got my real estate license, Aram has been in the social media game long before I even was interested in real estate, long before any of us were in the industry. And he was an integral part in like watching his YouTube videos, learning things about how to be a broker and real estate in general. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden I'm watching the videos. I'm like, wait, he's in Chicago suburbs. Wait,
yes, sir.
I know where he's filming at. And
yeah, you do.
Sure enough, a few years later, we crossed paths. And now we're not only, I guess you could say colleagues, but
I think we're best friends.
But we're best friends.
We're best friends.
Let's go.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so
You're
tell
like
us.
chest bump right now.
Yeah,
Big chest bump coming in.
The buns are way too tight.
But tell us a little bit. Give us, I guess, the backstory. You've probably said it a million times on other podcasts and other places, but give people the backstory about you because your story is honestly one of the coolest stories, and I've repeated it to all my friends and told
hell
people
yeah.
about you.
I'll repeat it again. Right? So I got into real estate at 21 years old. Back in my day, young fellas and lady, you had to be 21 years old to have a real estate license. Okay. So at 19, I was working a tech support job. I'm like, all right, I need to be rich. How do we do this? Because I'm poor and I don't like it, right? I like to work backwards for my goals, right?
Yeah.
So and I started watching a bunch of YouTube videos, and like every video is about real estate. All the rich people are investing in real estate, whether they own a business, then real estate, or they got rich through real estate, right? I'm like, okay, so that's the end goal. Cool. Now my grand plan was to start a business. So that, actually, my grand plan was to go to college, get a degree, save money, and then start a business. Then one day invest.
And
in
you
real estate.
didn't go to college.
I didn't.
Yeah, hit me up. That's why we're boys.
I have 2 associate's degrees from a community college.
I have one. I don't even know if I have an associate's degree.
don't.
I haven't
You did-
checked.
huh?
I was there for 2 years.
So I'm more educated
So
than
maybe
you?
He's more
You
educated
are more
than you.
educated than me.
Wow.
That's why I text. That's why I text the way I do.
That's why you come to me for advice.
That's why I come to you.
It's
for
the
advice.
2 degrees ahead.
That,
2 degrees ahead.
That and like the 4 to 5 years of age. More wisdom.
Is it 4 to 5?
How old are you?
Almost 30.
I'm
Freshly 29?
I'm 24. So we got like
Yeah,
5
he's got
years.
me.
We're 25.
25.
See, young. See, back in my that's why I
Back
say
in your
you had to
day.
be 21.
But we're getting. I want to get you back on track.
Oh,
where we
yes.
were.
So I decided I'm going to be a real estate agent. And then I'm like, this college thing isn't going to work because it's going to cost me $40,000 to go to get a bachelor's degree to only make $80K a year. The math didn't make sense. I was like, I'd rather
wasn't mathing.
The arithmetic wasn't right. And I was good at math.
You
so
know
I'm
he's
like,
more
this isn't
educated.
it.
He uses arithmetic. I ain't
2
never.
degrees.
I've never said
That's a
arithmetic.
big word
I
for
never-
you.
Associate
I
in
never-
science.
I ain't never
folks.
used that word in my life.
Well, you know, I used to want to be an engineer.
Whoa, I didn't know.
I didn't know
Okay.
Yeah. And then I got a D in every single engineering class except for physics, which I had an F. Right?
Oh,
It wasn't working out. So I had to switch up. You know,
there
and I
was consistency though.
Hell yeah. That's one thing about me is I'm consistent.
Consistently bad or good,
Yeah.
but
Exactly.
consistent.
No half measures here, bro.
Agreed.
So and at that point I switched to a business degree. That's why I was like, it doesn't make sense to go get a business degree when I could just go start a business. If I'm gonna go 40K in debt and waste 2 years of my life, let it be 2 years into business, right? More research. I was gonna start a kiosk, and I discovered, thank God for the YouTube algorithm, being a real estate agent is a whole business. And it only costs $2,000. I got a credit card with a $3,700 limit. I have $2,000, right? So I basically decided I want to be a realtor. And the issue is I'm only 19, turning 20. I still got to wait a year and a half.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, well, this is bogus. So I just end up getting a bunch of sales job in between. As soon as I get my license, I quit my sales job. I was a car salesman. Hated it. Literally the day I'm out of here. And I got became a real estate agent. The first year I thought I was going to make like $250,000. right? I was like,
Most people do.
Yeah.
made like a quarter. Like I think I made like a quarter.
Like a quarter.
Now, I did like 1.67 million in production, and it was like a 44K in commission, but I only kept like 21 of it.
Right.
Because my broker split was diabolical.
Right.
I didn't like
Yeah.
it. And then that year I started driving Uber just to pay my bills. It took about 4 years to crack like that 6-figure income, which was 2021. And then from there I was like, okay, let's now get into investing because that was the goal, right? So that's the first time I asked, okay, I have excess, I have extra money. Like, how do I get into investing? And so in 2022, I did a flip and I bought 2 apartment buildings, 7 units each. Still got the 2 buildings, and obviously I sold the flip.
Yep.
And then in 23, I was like, man, I'm really sick and tired of showing people houses like this. And I'm working with investors, which is what made it worse, because I had like 50 active clients. They all want my services, but the issue is there's on the MLS 1 good deal a month.
Yeah, maybe if you're
Maybe.
lucky. Yeah.
But you got to look at 1,000 of them.
Right.
And so as a person, I'm like, I'm making like 2.5% looking at 1,000 deals. This doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And then out of nowhere, this guy calls me. His name was Randy. I had sent him a mailer a year prior when I thought I wanted to be a flipper because I hated flipping when I got into it.
Oh, I know, because
this is stupid.
the videos you used to post, I remember there was videos you're like, no, I don't,
Yeah, I contradict myself.
totally against flipping, and then all of a sudden this man's flipping.
against rentals, all right?
He's like a gymnast with all the flips. This guy.
You know what it is? It's because I'm learning, developing, and experiencing new things. I'm
Wisdom.
like, oh, this doesn't make sense.
That's character growth.
Absolutely. And so now I basically fully transitioned to being a flipper. So I raised capital, which has allowed me to go from 2 flips to 10 flips this year.
Yep.
And it's going to allow me to go to 20 flips, 30 flips next year.
Right.
And that's pretty much all I do. And I still buy the apartment buildings. They just haven't been any good deals.
Yeah,
So that's the
they're-
short version.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. Though.
It's a crazy. It's
That's
a
a wild story. But your goal the whole time was real estate investing from
This
when
is
you were
exactly
19.
what I wanted to do, yeah.
Okay.
Now, in hindsight, if I just asked myself, how can I be an investor today, I probably would have been 5 years ahead of where I am today.
Yeah.
But I would have probably been an arrogant prick. So
But,
maybe.
but what would you have done differently in the sense of like to get to that goal faster? You would have just jumped straight into investing. You had no money.
So that's a great question. So I haven't used my money at all on any of my flips, except for like the second one, actually. Right. So you never actually need money. What I would have done at 19 is something I didn't do at all until like 26, 27 years old, which explains the growth been really in the last 2 years, is I've asked for help. Right? So I would find someone like myself. Like if I found a me and I was 19, I would instantly be more successful, right? So I'd find an investor that already has a track record, money, and experience, right?
Okay.
I'd be like, look, what do you need to start? Like, you need a deal? Perfect. Teach me how to get a deal. I'll go get that and just give me a piece of it, right? If I'm 19 years old, I could blow 3 years and a lot of money just learning.
Right.
Through because if you got 8 years of experience, I don't have to put 25% down. I could do 10% down hard money loans.
Right.
I could just tap into that. And within about a year, you would learn everything you need to learn. It's a simple business, and then you would do it.
And that's exactly how I felt when I was kind of making the decision to leave college. It was like, for me, it was like, okay, I could take this time and still be in class and do whatever I was doing, or I can just take this time and just learn, just immerse myself in the business. Then all of a sudden, those 2 years became the most valuable 2 years because I didn't really care about making the money. All I cared about was just learning and getting the skill set.
And you reached out to me. I remember we got on a call back in the day.
Yeah, we got on a call back. That was actually our first time meeting, but we got on a call and then kind of reconnected. And I think that's a really important point, especially for somebody who's younger. Even if you're not younger, you're just looking to make a transition into something else. Like the experience early on is far more valuable than the money you're going to make.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a lot cheaper that way. Because think about it. I've already made a lot of mistakes that cost me money.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather just cut the line and learn from me than having to go make the same mistake, like buying a bad deal? Which I have never made, by the way.
Never.
Never. But
Never
also
made.
because it took me like 6 years to start investing, so I had a lot of real estate knowledge before I got into it. But if I started, I would have made a bad deal my first year, but I would have learned from it. I would earn that loss already.
Right.
That's what you say all the time. You're like smart people learn from other people's mistakes.
Yeah.
Versus
Yeah.
their
Ain't
own.
that the
Yeah.
truth?
And so this is funny. Sasha's always telling me, she's like, and she's not the only person, but it's like you have all these sayings that you say,
okay.
but there's sayings that I pick up along the way from other people. So I shouldn't pawn them off as my own, but they're things
No
that
one's gonna know.
No one's gonna know.
No
I don't
one
have to.
knows.
I don't have to.
No
There's
one
no
knows.
copyright on the quotes, but there are things like when you start hanging around the people that I spend a lot of time with, you're like, wait. Michael Kaplan said that before. He's stealing from other people. He's stealing it from Aram. So that's why I have to kind of walk a very thin line there. But yeah, it is that I just absorbed that
You
information
said, I heard someone say.
through
and
the
then-
grapevine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
a big saying. I think like early on when we first started working together, we were making some sort of video, and I was like,
Yeah.
it could be like a drinking game, like a drink every time he says a saying.
Yes,
People
literally.
would be
Hammered.
You'd
hammered
be
by the end of
hammered.
the
You would be
video.
hammered.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
but
we could get the drinks out.
you are a contributor to the saying bank, so thank you for that. Thank you for that.
saying
That's
bank.
important. Now, another thing that I want you to touch on is even before, kind of like your childhood. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's another
Yeah.
really interesting
Oh, yeah.
dynamic that none of us can really. I guess we don't have
can't
any
relate
expe-
to.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can't relate to.
You guys are
And
born here, right?
We were all
Yes.
born
All born
here,
here.
Ah.
all born in America. God
Unlucky
bless
you.
the greatest, the greatest country on earth.
No, so I was born in Armenia, if anyone's ever heard of it. So if you heard of the Kardashians, basically.
I was gonna
that's-
say.
There we go.
It's all
Well, I
we're
didn't
known
know they
for.
were-
That's
I
right
didn't-
up Sasha's alley.
I didn't know they were Armenian.
I didn't know they were
Yes.
Bro,
Armenian
I'm
either.
basically a Kardashian, but I
Oh.
always say my ass is
I've
real.
seen, I've seen that. When you were
My
walking up
ass
those
is real.
stairs, I was like, maybe you got
Genetics.
Kardashian in them.
It's in the genes, bro. Nothing I could do. So I was 9 years old, and my family moved to Schaumburg, so Chicago suburbs,
Yep.
and we've been there ever since. So like that shift from going like, obviously you speak one language in a different country, right?
Yeah.
It's a complete culture shock. So you come here, and it's like a huge learning curve. And I think one of the greatest things that's ever happened to me, because I think when you were a kid, you adapt a lot easier, right?
Yeah.
So if you're used to like difficulties when you're young, and when life is naturally challenging, right? So when you get older and then like life hits you, you can handle it a lot better.
1,000%.
That's why like the 4 years of not making money as a realtor, I was like, brother, have you ever tried to speak English?
As a second
third
language.
grade, and you know what I mean? Like I had some beefs in class, and I punched a kid in the stomach on accident. You know, I didn't know what was going on. You know, it was a culture shock. Someone hit me with the ball. I said, I'm hitting the first guy I see. It wasn't even him. Right?
Oh my god.
So that was my second day in school.
That's
That's a
funny.
great way to start.
Wait, you say it, how old were you when you came here?
I was 9.
Okay.
Yeah, 05 we came in here, February of 05. So, and I was in 3rd grade in Armenia, so they put me back in 3rd grade, except the annoying part is they put me in ESL classes, which is reasonable because English second language, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm in there and I was in a specifically like, it was just me and like 7 Indian guys, right? That's it.
Right.
So they all speak the same language. It's just me.
You were the lone
So they
man.
got their own little
I'm
group.
ESL here too.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, what are Indians? Hindu? I'm HS.
Yeah. No, but that is such an interesting point. Like, we all kind of grew up in a similar area where it's
Yeah.
like, I don't want to say silver spoon, but like, let's be honest, where we grew up was the silver spoon areas of the
Yes.
Chicago suburbs.
sure.
You never, and you see when some kids were raised with great families, with great intentions, but were not allowed to battle through any adversity. They hit their adulthood and they're just completely out for the count.
That's actually harder if you ask me.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
100%
Oh, yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and to some people, it's like, well, they're rich. Like, you can. How is that harder? But it's not the money. I mean, people blow through money like it's nobody's business. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? If you don't have the skill set, you don't know how to battle through adversity, you don't know how to deal with challenges. Once that time comes in your adult life, I mean, you're done. You're
cooked.
You're cooked.
Yeah.
You're
Because,
cooked,
you
as
know,
the kids
you're afraid
say.
to take risks.
Correct.
Because you're afraid of any new challenge.
And then you have no
Right.
direction, so you're just there.
Right.
You just stay in one place.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just
I
get
feel like
older
I
and
kind of
older.
grew up like that, I will say. I
Well,
didn't
I
really
think-
think I went through something to...
Here's the
But
thing.
I did have parents talking in my ear being
Correct.
like, well, we came here with $20 in our
Right,
pocket.
right.
So your
My
parents were immigrants?
Yes.
Okay, so see?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's close.
Yeah.
Adjacent.
I'm
Yeah.
adjacent.
Adjacent.
But I think I think it's not only just the adversity. I think a big part of it has to do with your parents. Like me, dude,
Yes.
my parents ain't immigrants. I
Yeah.
grew up I had the perfect all-American boy childhood.
Yeah.
I grew up playing every sport under the sun. I had a
Yeah.
great loving family, 2 loving parents.
God damn.
But I know, like,
Want to make us jealous,
Yeah.
man.
I'm just saying because I don't want anybody to think like I'm this, guy who started from the bottom. No, I started from a great place, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to make my parents proud. But I was also instilled with those values. I think Gordy's on the
Yeah.
same page as me there. Like, instilled with the values and the hard work ethic and the
Right.
things that
Yeah.
allow you to succeed as an adult versus maybe some kids who had a great childhood, but their parents, it was the never my kid. Oh, my kid would never do that. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, oh,
No consequences.
No
No
consequences
consequences
for their
ever.
actions.
Yeah.
Or the opposite of that, completely overbearing.
Yeah.
Helicopter parents, and then the kid goes to college, and you God knows what he's doing. I mean, who
Yeah.
the hell
God
knows?
doesn't even know, to be
God,
honest.
yeah. Let's hope
Yeah.
God
God
doesn't.
turns his, he's like, I'm let's back on this one.
That's the devil's fault.
Let's hope God don't know what he's doing.
That's so true. No, having good parents is the key.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. It really is. It's such a huge advantage. Now, fast forward to today, right? What's what's your day-to-day look like now that you're completely removed from, first off, do you enjoy being a real estate investor more than you enjoy being a broker?
1,000%.
And what are the biggest differences that you see on like your day-to-day?
Yeah.
And things like that.
So I'm 100% living off my own schedule. Because when you're a broker, like you could have an empty afternoon. I'm sure you guys know this. And then Cheryl calls, I got this place. I need to see it tonight.
Yeah.
Or like, they have multiple offers tomorrow. We got to get in there tonight. You're like, man, I was going to get coffee and relax, maybe get a haircut. Not everything shot up, right? So now my schedule is, if I don't set it, it doesn't get set. Like I don't really have any surprises coming up, which is great, right? Other than that, I have a lot more control of my income. Like if we're negotiating a sale, right? Like I know, like, listen, I don't have to tell my client what to do. I just do it because I'm the client.
You're the client.
Right? So I like kind of like know the best maneuvers to go through, et cetera, et cetera. And like, let's say there's an issue over $500, right? During the inspection. I just be like, give him the $500. I'm good with it. Versus I have to call to say, listen, bro, you're really going to miss out on this $300,000 payout because you petty about $500.
Yeah.
I'm sitting, I'm like, give him $1,000. I'm here trying to get paid, man.
Yeah.
So that's I say the biggest one.
Right.
And I make a lot more doing less, if that makes any sense.
That makes a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the goal of anybody who's trying to level up in their career is like, how can I make more by doing less? Delegate things out, have more control over my income.
Yeah.
That too. I will say, I do not work. Like it's almost.
I know.
It's insulting. I feel bad, guilty at times.
Yeah.
Okay, I work maybe 15, 20 hours a week.
Yeah.
I've been coasting this year, to be honest.
Yeah.
Next year we're not gonna be coasting because to do 20, 30 deals, I gotta work.
You gotta put the head down on the ground.
Absolutely.
But even with coasting, and I'm going to use that term lightly because he's saying coasting. For most of the people listening to this, let's just call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
His coasting is your, 100,000 horsepower.
That is true.
100%.
I do
So-
work.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, you're
like, so
working.
we're
Yeah.
playing
Yeah.
on. You're on a different. It's a different playing field that we're talking about. If you're
Yeah.
used to working 9 to 5, and then you look at his coasting, and you try to jump in to do that, your head would be in the clouds. Let's just be
true.
honest about
Yeah.
that. But with that being said, I know what you're saying. Like
I have residue hours from all the years that I did the work, so I got extra credit. I'm just
exactly. You
Throwing
laid
it
the
in.
groundwork. You laid the foundation. Now you're kind of reaping at least some of the benefits and
True.
going to continue.
one more while I remember it.
Yeah.
I don't have to be here to make money.
Yeah.
That's my favorite because
You can be anywhere.
I could be anywhere. As a broker, like I either have I have to have a showing agent show you around, but client, realtor, like
Right.
you gotta have to be
You have to-
present.
You have to be there the whole time.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, do I buy a property? My GC, I meet him there, I tell him what I need to do. I leave. Don't come back. I don't check on him.
Yeah.
I get photos every now and then, and that's it.
Yeah.
And so when I was having my surgery, we were completing 4 projects, listing them on the market, and having them under contract.
Yeah.
Never went to them.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. It just
I
speaks
mean-
to what you kind of been able to do, the groundwork that you've been able to lay, and the people you've surrounded yourself with that you can trust.
Yeah.
I know your contractor and you are like that, right? You can trust them like
It's the people, bro.
Yeah.
It's 100% the people. And it cost me more money that way, but I'd rather have peace of mind than like every penny has to be mine.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like everybody can win.
for sure.
I think it's a really good thing, though.
Yeah.
But like, what was that immediate transition from like going from brokerage to real estate investor? Like,
Yeah.
what was the first thing you're doing?
I have I'm an old man, older than you, like even like
Slightly.
Barely.
Slightly.
So my CRM system is a whiteboard in my office. So I would have active clients. I would
Yeah.
just literally write all their names down. So I came in, like I sold my flip in Schaumburg. That made me to 60K.
Yep.
I'm like, I'm rich. I got 60K. This is 2023, right? I'm like, I don't need to show nobody house for the next 4 months. Okay. And then I'm like, cool, perfect. So I'm no longer a real. So I just erased all their names off to that. I was like, that's it. That felt awesome. I got a video about it. I'll send it to you.
Yep.
That was the first thing I did, bro. And it's a mental shift, and it was tempting because I still get clients reaching out, say, hey, would you like? I have referred off like 6 transactions this year, right?
Yeah. So it's an extra stream of income,
It
just
is.
slightly.
And it's a better service for the client because Lord knows I'm not answering that phone.
Yeah.
Like I had one that he really wanted me to listen. I was like, look, man, I know you think I'm great, which I am, no offense. But there's no way I could do it as good of a job as I did when I helped you buy this house. Because first, it took me 3 days just to text you back.
Yeah.
And you still want to work with me.
wanna work with that.
If that was if that was a girl and
Oh
she
my
still
God.
wanted me, I'm like, something got to be wrong with that one.
There's something not right here.
Yeah, something not
absolutely.
right here.
There's no one else
And I
reaching
will.
out?
And speaking of women, this man, I do have to say, not only is a real estate whiz,
Oh,
but
God.
he is a expert, I would say, at the
He's got
the
Riz.
art that
Riz.
he's got Riz.
Real estate whiz, and then got
I'll take
Riz.
Riz. I'll take
He's
Riz.
the real estate Riz.
I really didn't want to say that word, but I honestly couldn't think of another.
Well, when you said whiz, the first thing I thought, I'm like, I'm about to say Riz. If
The
she
real
doesn't,
estate
so.
whiz with Riz, because the first time we met, call it our first date. There was another lady. There was another lady there.
Bro date.
Who was on another first date that was not going nearly as well as our first date was.
Nah,
we
not
were
at
hitting
all.
it off.
Not
we
at
were
all.
Chatting it up, real estate, this, life, whatever.
The chemistry was there.
And
Yeah.
I look over and I see this girl. She was not having it with this guy, some bum. And I see Aram looking over. I'm not gonna say anything, whatever. And Aram, you finish it off here. But
So I was a gentleman. I waited till the guy went to the bathroom. Took him forever, to be honest. And then I just
was
knew
he
she was
doing
not
it?
having a good time. So I just tapped on her shoulder and said, "Hey, are you on a first date? Are you on a date?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Doesn't look like you're having a good time." She's like, "I'm not. He wants to go to the zoo." Oh, I was like, "Who the?"
on a first date,
On a first
On a
date.
first date,
And
that's
she's like,
wild.
"I smell too good to go to the zoo." I'm like, "I absolutely agree. Do you not know how to get out of situations like this?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "I got you." And then I was like, "Let me get your number. If this doesn't go well,
Oh, okay.
I'll take
There
you on a
you go.
much better
Yeah.
date." And
That was a good smooth transition there, honestly.
we didn't have a lot of time, bro, because the guy was, I don't know how long it takes to pee. He might be doing a 1 or a 2, right?
God forbid on a first date. You never know with this guy. It was a wild card.
Yeah.
This guy's a weirdo. And he was had a very, he would talk like this. And it's not like we're like, right. He
Yeah,
was
yeah.
far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't even hear it. I was like, dude, when it's not a big coffee shop, I should be able to hear you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then she leaves, and I had texted, and I saw them go different directions. And then I was like, just here's what you're gonna do. Tell them everyone's got a mom, and she always needs something. Your mom just called you. She needs help with moving. I don't know, something. Make the lie and get out of
Yeah.
it. So she got out of it.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
And so that was my
amazing.
first impression of him.
and you
Of
were
Aram.
like,
I was like, this
This is
guy, he's
amazing.
got, there's something going on here.
The highlight of my life, to be honest. He met me at my peak.
It's always after this, and it was played off so smooth that we got to know each other. They're about like 6 months in, or I mean, he's like, by the way, like that was one of the coolest things I've ever done. That was one of the coolest things I've ever done.
That is a pretty cool moment.
Yeah,
though.
for
won
the
you
first
over
time,
right there.
He
Oh my
did.
God.
For the first time meeting somebody and he does that, I'm like, this guy's the fucking man. This is the
I was
man.
actually doing an experiment. Actually, not like I was forcing myself to go out there at that period of my life because I was recently single. I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing the dating apps. I'm not doing the Instagrams. I want to
Cold
go
approach.
cold approach.
Yeah.
Because that is scary as hell.
One of the
right?
scariest things to do.
So it's
Yeah.
I don't know why it's so like I've raised like $500,000. It's not even that scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God forbid I have to go say hello.
oh,
You know what?
Saying
though?
hi is scary.
You know what though? That skill and kind of relaying it back to work and
Sales,
real estate.
baby.
It's the same thing. Like putting yourself and getting comfortable in uncomfortable situations. And like you said, there is nothing more uncomfortable
Yeah.
than going up to a random person, whether that's somebody you're interested in as, romantically or just like somebody in a work setting, that some, big shot real estate guy that you want to, talk to. But if you can get comfortable doing that,
Yeah.
and you start like that's a superpower. It really is. It's a
Yeah.
It really
Oh,
is.
yeah.
And I found it showing up in my business afterward.
for sure.
Right? So now all of a sudden I'm at like Lyra, right? I was like, I don't even want to talk to women anymore. I want to see like a guy with a Rolex on. I'm like, talk to this guy.
Yeah.
He was an idiot, but it's still like,
He was an
it was a great, at least good to know to be out there.
And you work that muscle, and all of a sudden it's like
Yeah.
shows up in many different ways in your life.
Absolutely
for sure.
right.
For sure. So for somebody who's listening to this
Mhm.
and who's maybe like younger, maybe they are a broker, maybe they're not, maybe they want to get into investing, like what would you recommend right off the rip somebody doing? Do you think there's still a place for somebody to be a real estate broker? Now that you have to say yes because there's 3 real estate brokers.
Yeah, you got to be
But
careful.
you can say yes and then add on what you want to say after.
Okay, so I think being a real estate broker and an investor is 2 different jobs.
Totally.
So you need to decide, do you want to go look at shitty houses every day and fixing up and deal with construction, things like that? And having to find off-market deals is not as easy as people think. It's just as hard as finding a client. I'd say even harder.
Way harder.
Right? So, or do you want to go see nice homes, nicely remodeled, negotiate deals, and be more of on the transactional side? So I know brokers that make more than me.
Yeah.
Right? Like a lot more than me.
Active income.
Active income. I mean, my active is flipping too, right?
Right.
So you just pick your poison. They each have their problems. For me personally, I just don't like when other people control my income.
Yeah.
So for me, I was just a lot easier. It was a lot easier for me to be an investor because the access to capital that I have, the knowledge that I have, I just have a knack for finding these deals. I was
Right.
doing it for years for clients, right?
You were doing it for other people, so it's like I could just do it for
me.
myself.
Exactly
Yeah,
right.
Make myself
So
money.
That's the difference. And then the follow-up, you said what I would recommend someone to do.
Yeah.
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 Like if they wanted to get into it right now.
I would say do not let your budget determine what you're gonna buy, right? Because oftentimes people come to like, how much do I need to invest? Well, technically you don't need anything. But if you want to buy a deal on your own, you need about 50 to 80,000 in our market. But you don't need to have that. It's better
You
off.
need to have a deal, is what you need.
Exactly. So if you have any money at all, or zero, put your time, effort, energy, and capital into finding a good deal, right? Whether that's you guys spend thousands on mailers, PPCs, or cold call your face off, whatever. Find a great deal, because what happens is once you have this amazing money-making opportunity, and that's what's amazing about real estate is you don't need a track record. 3 houses sold in that neighborhood for X amount. You're buying it for X amount. It needs $50,000 worth of work, and there's a $60,000 profit margin, right?
Yeah.
If you know how to explain that to an investor, which takes a little practice, but you'll figure it out, so easy to get them to buy in on the deal, right? Because you're going to get a 30% ROI. The average investor would be happy with a 10% ROI. Look how much room you have there, right? And if you're new, you just give the investor a significantly better. Like my first couple of deals, I made about 40% of the profit because I gave it all away so I could learn and actually be able to raise the capital easier, right? So that's what I would do. Find a great deal, bring it to somebody with money, and to go from there.
Right. Right. And touch a little bit about now your kind of like your mentorship program that you have. I know that's something that you've kind of started relatively recently.
Like a year ago, actually. Exactly a year ago.
Yeah.
December.
Wow.
Yeah.
And touching on that and how you've kind of implemented that is not only part of your business, part of Aram G Realty's business as a whole. Like what type of services do you provide? What hands-on experience? Like what is the dynamic of that?
So if you're local, it's very hands-on because there's 2 courses, there's weekly calls, and there's one-on-one coaching whenever you need. But if you're local, like Kentrell back there, he's actually a student of mine. Yeah. But if you're local, listen, we want to grow together, right? The more successful you are, like if you found that $60,000 opportunity and you're a student of mine, you don't need any more capital partners. You just bring it to me. You could tap in, like I have access to capital partners. You have access to the deal. Together, we could start putting some things together, right? So if you're local, that's where it benefits my business as well. So that's kind of why I want to do it. And a lot of people are reaching out for me to like kind of help them. I just don't have the time to help everybody for free. I would literally be bankrupt. Right. And I'd be like, this broke, he's teaching everybody. I'm like, listen, man, I got to work on my business. Right. So I charge, it's $2,000, and I try to keep it expensive but cheap at the same time. Right. So that way it's like, I'm not bankrupting you for giving you the info, but you also get the cut in line. And I know you're serious because you spent $2,000.
In $2,000, like for some people that sounds like a lot and it's a lot of money, but at the end of the day, real estate, I mean, we're playing in an expensive asset class here.
100%.
And I would be gladly willing, I mean, I'm an investor myself, you know, about my 4-unit earlier this year, and I would be gladly willing to pay.
I mean, it's either that or $100,000 in student loans.
Yeah. I was just
I was thinking that, like,
Boom.
People go to school for that. Like community college alone is $5,000 a year.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna make any money learning English and history. You're gen eds. You're not gonna make any money on those. Right. So like I'm charging $2,000. I could easily make you $20,000.
And the experience that and the knowledge you're gonna get from that is gonna be so much more valuable than the knowledge you're gonna get from a professor talking about something that you don't care about, not applicable to what you want to do. Yeah. And so kind of what you're talking about too with like brokers and finding deals, like I'd be gladly willing to shell over a lot of money if somebody found me a good deal. That's the biggest problem.
That's the biggest problem.
Investors' biggest problem is not the money. It's I do not have a deal to buy. Like I want to buy a deal.
But if you're like a broke 20-year-old or 22-year-old or whatever, that idea doesn't exist to you. It didn't exist to me. Right. Because I'm like, if I'm broke, everybody's broke. Yeah, what do you mean you just have $200,000 laying in a bank account doing nothing?
Doing nothing.
Are you crazy?
Are you crazy? Yeah.
I'm trying to pay my car payment this week.
I think where people get caught up is in making money in the now and the active income. Because everybody talks about when you ask people, it's like, how much money you make. Not that people are talking about that, but like that's I think the grading scale that a lot of people grade. Oh, this person. My buddy's got his offer letter. He's making 85, and this person's working at this and making 110. In real estate, all the real estate guys I know, they're broke. They make no money, but they're rich. They're broke, but they're wealthy, is what it is.
We're asset rich, cash poor.
Exactly.
Yeah, asset rich.
Don't ask for my personal checking account right now. And that's dusty.
That's exactly how I live my life. It's like I'm constantly trying to reinvest either back into this REKAP Group business or REKAP Ventures, which is my investment fund, investment portfolio. And so I'm always kind of cash poor, but I want I look at our business as an asset, and I look at the properties as an asset, and constantly reinvesting back into that. Yeah, like the money I make, I'm not
Funny you should
caught up
say
in
that. I just realized, it's like a business owner, like anyone like a anyone that's on their own. Like you guys are on your own too, right?
Yeah.
You're like always broke. Even no matter how much you make, you're always broke. Like even
How many times do I say it? I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah,
and
I'm broke. I'm
Where's
literally
it going?
broke. Literally.
I'm mentally unstable.
It's
because
insane.
of
Like I'm
it.
like I do a ton of deals. I'm like, why am I still broke? Like how is this possible?
I'm about to tell you why you're broke. It's because you want to do more deals next year, right?
Yes.
Which requires you to reinvest back into your business. That's what I'm like. Last year I was like, if I could just make an extra $100,000, I'd be good. Made that. I'm like, where did it go? Right. Because I feel even more broke than last year. Because now I'm still trying to figure out how to get through Christmas. You know, it's got to buy everybody presents.
buy
and shit.
presents. Yeah.
I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I spent extra $60,000 on my business this year.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Right. And until the day you stop wanting to scale, that's when you'll start being able to save money.
Right.
Until then, it's
And
Yin
it's a,
and yang
and
again.
it's a long-term play. I mean,
I
when
was
you're-
gonna say,
Yeah.
I think a
Yeah.
lot of people in their 20s, 30s even, like don't want to invest in long term because they're
Yeah.
unsure if it's actually gonna,
I don't blame
you
them.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it because
Yeah.
like it's very up in the air.
Yeah.
The uncertainty gets to people.
This man told me he goes, I told him I got a Roth IRA. He goes, pull that shit out of my Roth IRA immediately. What the hell are you doing?
Bro, I can't stand people that come in with the Roth IRA bullshit. Like,
Really?
do you know you can max it out for $6,000 with no taxes? I'm like, buddy, explain something to you. $6,000 every year for the next 25 years of my life. I'm an older guy, so I'll be like 59 years old. I'm like, how much would that convert to? They're like 1.4 million, right? I'm like, at 59 years old, my medical bills is about $1 million right there, gone.
Yeah.
Right? Good luck buying a house with that money. Okay, in 25 years.
Yeah, what the house's price are going to be. Yeah.
And I can't even enjoy it. What have I been doing for 25
I
years?
agree. Here,
Stupid.
this is my take on it. And I have a Roth
that got me
IRA.
going.
I remember when you told me about it, I had no
Yeah.
idea first of all what it was at
Good,
all.
you
So I was
don't
like,
need it.
can
I
you
didn't
sit
even know
here
what it
and
was
explain
either.
this is good cop, bad cop, devil angel on the shoulder
Okay.
right here.
You still have one?
I still have one. Listen, I don't think it's the worst thing you could do with your money. I also think, though, I will agree. But
But it's not the best.
it's not the best.
And if it's not the best, what are we doing?
It's not the best. But there are a lot of things that I spend money on that aren't the best use of the money. And here's my thought process on it. I think for most people, and I think you'll agree with this, I think most people are, not to be like being pompous here, but are financially illiterate. They're financially illiterate. Most
to be
people are
pompous.
financially illiterate.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, to be completely honest, I don't think I actually wasn't. I don't even think I am fully yet.
It's a
I'm
process.
still learning.
And
I'm
Yeah.
still not.
Yeah.
But I think a Roth IRA, I think things that are like a lot quote unquote safer are good things for people that are financially illiterate, and see, I'm saying illiterate wrong. I'm the one who's illiterate.
But I mean, says the guy who's no college degree.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah, but then
But-
both of us are sitting here like, yeah.
Yeah, but I have a 4 degree and I'm like, what?
Teach us the way.
But I think it's good for people who are financially not as
Yeah.
literate and don't care to learn as much. They want to live a stable life. They're not looking to live this, I want to live an amazing life. My parents have given me such an amazing life so far, and I think the goal of every kid is to give their kids a better life than they had. So I've got a lot of ground to work.
You started
Yeah.
at worse because, I just got to go here. You started here. It's
Right.
way harder to do this.
Yeah.
Right. So I think for a lot of people, they just want to live a good quality life, and they don't want to, they want to work their job, retire at 60.
Well, it's simple.
get-
Like
Yeah,
investing
it's
in Roth
simple.
IRA is very
I
simple.
don't,
have
I
to worry about
don't
it.
totally like I think that's totally fine.
100%.
Okay, let me give you a caveat of why I think what I think.
But I think for my
Okay.
personality, it doesn't make sense because I am the type of person who's like risk taker, business
Yeah.
owner,
Yeah.
invest in real estate. I just have it because I'm like, you know what?
You're
$6
used to
grand.
it too because you've seen your dad do the same thing.
Right. I'm like, I have it. I don't have we don't have retirement as independent
Yeah.
contractors too. That's the thing.
it is it's not a bad thing. Like if you're gonna do nothing,
I'm not
let's do
smoking
like
crack.
that. It's way better than smoking crack, right? I think it's great if someone you have to go to work and come home, right? And you have no investments, you should have a Roth IRA or 401k, something that's growing because
Right.
you're gonna be 65 years old with no money, right? So at least you'll have a nest egg. But if you're like an entrepreneur where if you give me $6,000 today and I put into marketing, I got 2 deals, I made $40K.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, I get it.
That's
I get it.
7
so
years of your Roth
basically,
IRA contribution.
I know.
I'm kidding.
I want you guys I want people to hear this because I always say my opinions, and I think people, when I speak, I do tend to think people listen. And I don't
can
want,
hear you.
I know I speak quite loud, but I don't want people to think that my way is the only way because Aram and I
No,
differ
yeah.
on a
Yeah.
lot of things. We're both. Aram's more successful than I am, and done
For
it
now. I'm also
but
older.
He's been a big important mentor in my life. both personally and professionally. And so it's good to hear differing opinions, I think. Even though
Aram's been wrong so many times. True. So please take whatever you just watch my YouTube videos. I'm just constantly flip-flopping.
Oh, yes. He was, like I said, he makes all his money flipping now. This man, before, he's like, flipping?
Stupid.
Stupid. What are you doing?
You're going to find a great deal and just give it away for a short-term profit? What about the appreciation, equity, pay down, and the tax benefits? What about that, Captain?
What about that? Yeah.
And then you realize, wait a minute. I'm broke. I was broke before I bought it. I was supposed to make $40K, but now I'm making $300 a month. It's kind of a problem, isn't it? Yeah, in 15 years, this is going to be a great purchase. But how do I survive 15 years of ownership?
Well, I think part of it, too, is you're trying to also balance buying assets in your multifamily properties while also having active income. Because you need both.
You need both.
You need both.
Yes.
I think a lot of people go wrong on that. They're like, all right, I'm going to just like my building, right? I have a 4-unit building. In 30 years, yeah, it's going to be making me a lot of money. It's going to be making me a lot of money. It's going to be paid off.
You're going to be that tired landlord people cold called.
Yeah. It's going to be great. But until that point, that thing ain't no cash cow. You know, I just got my heater just broke in one of the units. Like the monthly cash flow for that month is
shot.
Yep.
Actually, my heat just broke this morning.
Yeah, see? Gone.
Shot.
Cash flow, gone.
Yeah.
Be back to being cash flow.
Yep.
I thought I was going to be able to have Christmas presents not on the buy now, pay later.
Nobody's
Just kidding.
getting presents.
We do not do buy now, pay later on this podcast. But
Oh, no?
No, I don't do buy now, pay later.
Just don't pay.
Also,
Buy now,
We
pay
call
never.
that stealing.
yeah, you
Oh
could
my
do that.
gosh.
Could do that. No, I think it's interesting though, like seeing that dynamic because I feel like a lot of people that come from immigrant parents are a lot more like conservative with their money. Like, how did you learn? Like, your risk taking. Like, how did that all come about?
Were you surrounded by a lot of like entrepreneurs or anything
No,
like
not
that?
even.
Okay.
My dad was, but nothing too crazy. I was told I was an idiot for dropping out, right? But I was like,
I was too.
And I would say like most entrepreneurs are.
Yeah.
They like my dad didn't even go to high school.
the education, the
Yeah.
wisdom. I think like common sense and being educated are completely different, right?
Yeah.
And so I think as an entrepreneur, you need to have more of a common sense mindset than like I know how to do a physics calculus. Like I don't. The forces of gravity acting on this phone. I
Only
don't
need
care.
that if you're going to be an engineer.
Exactly. Which
Hence
which-
why
which-
he's not.
that didn't go my way. I'm sorry. What was the question? I had a juicy one.
Like how you kind of became
Oh,
that,
the risk
like
thing,
the
right?
risk
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and developing that because I feel like so many
Yeah.
people that come from if you look at it on paper, you'd be the one to maybe get more of like a secure job, maybe be a doctor, a lawyer.
Yeah.
Like a lot of immigrant parents, they move here. Their dream for their kid is for their kid to be, the doctor, lawyer, the American dream.
oh, just
you
make
know?
$80K a year because back where you come from, like
Stable.
you're rich.
Yeah, you ballin'.
You have a college degree. God bless.
Yeah,
how parents
first
are.
one in the family to go, maybe
yeah.
like that. I get that. So how did that
So
happen?
for me, this is where like I had a lot of character flaws as a young man. One of those that worked for me and against me was my ego, right? So my brain didn't really see it as a risk. I was like, I'm gonna be successful, duh. Like, why do you? It's not even a risk. I didn't really mentally did not see. That's why I told you I was gonna make $250,000 that year. So the math was like, why would I go make zero when I can make $250,000? And when I didn't, that's when I did a reality check. Right? At that point, I was in too deep, right? And also, it's a lot easier to risk when you don't have anything, right? So what was I gonna lose? The $10 in my bank account?
Yep.
Right? So that's kind of like my associate with it. Now, today, I do have a lot more to lose, but I still take very calculated risks, right? So it may look like I'm a gunslinger, which I'm really not. Like the deals I buy, if you look at behind the scenes, they're very safe deals in great locations, easy rehabs, you're in and out super quick, good margins. I raise the capital in a safe way. Like I never have to sell it. Like the market could crash tomorrow and nothing would change about my life.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I'd have maybe a bad 3 weeks as I'm trying to refinance. That's it.
Yeah.
Right?
But the market
So-
crashes, and then all of a sudden, shit's on sale.
That's my mindset. I was like, okay, like if I have to lose 30% of what my money, it means I got it like 50% ARV. So if the market drops, I lose a little bit. Everybody loses a lot more. I could just buy the same houses back, even cheaper.
Good mindset.
So
though
how
to
can I
have.
lose?
Yeah.
Right?
I like that.
Yeah.
So that's how I looked at it, bro, for the
Yeah.
risk stuff.
Yeah.
Now, as I get older and older, like when I get into like new business ventures, that's when like that fear comes back. Because what I know I could do, like I was gonna buy a coffee shop, just like what me and Cantrell went.
I remember you talking about
I was
this.
so nervous about that. I was like, fuck, I don't know what to do. Like, so I called for help, right? And I reached out to a guy that owns restaurants and coffee shops. He goes like, bro, you're gonna lose $2,000 a month on this. I was like, oh, see, I thought I was gonna make $5,000. So glad we did that,
Yeah.
Now I'm a little hesitant. Now I'm like trying to still go into these other businesses because one thing you realize is real estate makes money over a long term, but not a short term, right? But business, like what you guys do is a business. What we do on the flipping is a business, right? That's always gonna outrun any real estate that you have, at least actively, right? So I'm like, I need some more active income that I'm not always working for, right? So like, just that investors invest in me, I want to invest in somebody else that knows their industry. But then I'm like, fuck, he wants 150,000.
Right.
The coffee shop could just go to zero. Well, that's kind of terrifying, right? 150,000 just could disappear like that. So I'm like, maybe I give him.
Maybe shave a little off the top.
Maybe shave a little bit off. So it's still there, It's still there. I call it my broke side, So I like whenever I'm thinking like a broke person, like that side exists. But then if I got my abundance mindset over here, says, what if it works out?
Yeah.
Right? Let's go. We can always make the 150 back.
I think the key point, and like a common thread that I see amongst a lot of wealthy, successful, high performers is the abundance mindset on one side typically outweighs the other side.
You got
and I
to,
think you have to. I think it's
And I think it's not overthinking. Like, you just do it. Like,
Yeah,
you just go.
yeah.
You make your decision.
You make your decision.
You trust
and
your
you,
gut.
and you trust your gut, and
Yeah.
you live with the consequences, however they may be, because you can't. And going back to what you said, like when you're younger, you can't screw. Like you can screw up, but the screw up doesn't have such an impact. It
You have
doesn't.
so much time.
Yeah, when you have
so
nothing
much
to
time.
lose.
We're,
it's
like,
so
we're
different,
24, 25. That's why I'm like, I love when young people come
Yeah.
to me as clients or young people that are interested in just getting into real estate in general, whatever they want to do. I'm like, people will tell me, oh yeah, I hate my job.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. I want to do this entrepreneurial thing, but I'm hesitant to. I'm like, bro, what are you waiting for?
Just go
The
for
job
it.
will be there when you
Okay,
go make it. Yeah.
2 years. So now you wait 2 years. Now, instead of being single, now you're in a relationship. So now you're, 26, 27, 28. Now all of a sudden you may be settling down. You may have a wife at some point. Then it's
Maybe kids on the way.
Yeah, and now your risk meter has to be dialed back.
Now you got priorities changed.
Priorities change.
Yeah.
You have way more to lose now. That's the difference.
That's exactly right. So if you're 22, just go for it. It's better to try and fail and live with that than the regret of, God, what if I did try?
Yeah.
That's always been my, I'm like, I'd rather do it, mess it up, learn, recover, than sit here and be like, could have been a great real estate agent.
Yeah.
I have so many friends that are like, I have a business idea. And I'm like, okay.
Just fucking do
And
it.
this was like 2 years ago, and now
Yeah.
they're like, no, I still have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think
That's awesome.
that ties back into that mindset though that you had about like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm just gonna be successful. I think in real estate you kind of have to be like, yeah, I'm just gonna make it somehow.
Yeah.
You don't know how, but you're just gonna
Little
do it.
delusional.
I'm reasonably confident.
Exactly.
What did you,
Yeah.
you said something once, like we have to just like
You have to
delusional.
be like you have to be somewhat delusional if you want to
yeah.
be in business.
I agree.
You have to delude yourself to a level because you're starting something essentially from nothing. Nobody's going to believe in you because you have no proof at that point, especially if you're a young kid. I mean, when I was dropping out of college to get into real estate and say, all right, yeah, I'm 20 years old. I have no real estate experience. Nobody that I know is really in real estate in my family.
I
I'm
was
just gonna
hammering
go-
you for that.
Yeah, a lot of people think
I was
it's
like,
crazy.
you are an idiot.
Yeah. Like,
Well, look at you now.
yeah. And a lot of people.
I graduated though.
And a lot of people think, I mean, it's all the cliches. People are going to doubt you, and they
Yeah.
are, and it's going to come from people who
yeah.
you really love.
As they should, because they know you the most, and they're like, this guy's an idiot. So where is he
So
going?
he is an idiot. But speaking of abundance mindset, one of the key things that I always know about you is that you always get 2 coffees.
I know.
You always get 2, and I'm not saying 2 coffees in a day. I mean,
Yeah,
you do
yeah.
get 2 coffees in a day,
Yeah.
but they're 2 coffee. You go through the drive-through at Starbucks. You're ordering 2 coffees for yourself
once.
Yeah,
at the same
at once.
time.
And I only drink one.
Why do you do that? And you only
I'll
drink one of
explain.
them.
Because if I pull up, Starbucks has been really inconsistent lately, right?
Yes.
So I pull up, and like if I order, let's say, an Americano with the blonde espresso, leave some room with some whole milk. What if they forget the whole milk? It ruins my entire day, right? Or in the summertime when I'm getting a latte, what if they put too much milk in that damn thing? So I'm drinking basically milk with a splash of espresso, right? I'm like, I'm sick and tired of that. I'm not gonna stop by it at night. So I'm just gonna get 2 drinks, all reliable, which you can't mess up, which is an iced Americano, right? And I'll just get like something I want to try. So now when I go in there, I'm like, okay, am I feeling a caramel macchiato? Do I want a latte? Or do I just want an Americano? I'll get both. And when I get both and I sip, let's say my Americano, I'll know instantly this was the right decision.
Yeah.
I'll throw the latte out.
See, this is.
I love this. This is the most
Fun.
like trust your gut.
Yeah.
Like this is the most
No,
trust
this
your
is-
gut.
It's because I'm undecisive,
Yeah.
right?
Now, this is where I'm like, all right, this man's insane. This man's crazy. He's a little crazy.
Like in your head, you're just like, just.
Is this
just
like an
back and
everyday
forth.
thing?
The days I'm indecisive. Like today, I knew I wanted an Americano.
Yes.
Right. We did get 2 coffees, but I got one for Kentrell.
Yeah.
Right. I
That's
just didn't
fair.
have enough cup holders
That's fair.
today. But generally, I would say I mostly get 2 coffees, and this is the worst part. When it's time to eat, I also get 2 dinners.
That I
Yeah.
also knew. The
Yeah.
Uber, I've seen that Uber Eats order, bro.
Yeah, because that's even worse. What if they forget the ketchup?
Oh, Maran.
You know,
I don't
have it
even
in
want
the
the
fridge?
fries.
I didn't even know you did that. That's
Right?
wild.
Yeah.
So I'll go to like Mediterranean foods. Is like I'll get the lamb chomps. I'm like, what if I'm not feeling lamb today?
Oh my
So I'll
god.
get like a little, either mixed grill or I'll get like a steak plate or whatever they're called. Or I'll go to like Portillo's. I'm like, I want an Italian beef, but what if it's not good? Give me a cheeseburger, please.
I love it.
This
I
what
love
if
it.
Just to be on the
mindset
the
safe
so
side.
sad
overthinking
that
there is
I-
wild.
I don't order.
But hear me out.
things.
You're saying, oh my God, you're spending so much money. It costs an extra $10 to $20 to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I get what
yeah,
you're saying.
I
I,
know you're
don't
doing.
totally.
No, I don't
disagree
go to a
with it 'cause I've
steakhouse in
definitely
order
done
to
it
fillet.
myself.
No, you can't do that. That'd be.
Because I did the math. I'm like, if I go get a fillet, it's like $60, right? I'm at Portillo's, bro. Like, no matter what I do, I'm not spending more than $35.
You're
Yes.
seeing how his brain mechanics.
Yes.
Right?
I love
This
like
is-
how you're.
I'm
you're
saving
like,
money.
You're like
Sorry.
spin zoning it though. You're just like, now listen.
It's called boy math,
I
my
bought
friend.
he bought 2 dinners, but I'm saving money. I didn't get a fillet at Ruth's Chris.
That's like girl
Yes,
math.
I do like
It
that.
makes
though.
sense, bro. If you really think about it. Now, I do throw one out later, though.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll eat it later, and it gets cold. I'm like, yeah.
See,
Toss it.
this is where again him and I are so different. I am like not a penny pincher by any stretch. I think I'm very generous with my money. But when it comes
For
to
yourself.
for myself,
You're not.
I'm not. I
No.
don't spend on any stupid shit.
For anyone
I-
else, you are
yeah.
generous and everything.
I cut out any unnecessary. I mean, I'm currently again living at home because I'm just saving more money.
Really?
Just because
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm like, I don't care
Yeah.
how it sounds to anybody else. I don't care what it looks like. It's putting an extra, whatever that I would be spending in rent back in my pocket.
Yeah.
I love it because you know
Yeah.
what? Future Michael's going to be happy that he did that. Now
He is. Future
Hey,
Mike
some
is
of us
gonna be
don't
on it.
have the
Yeah.
option.
You could
Yeah.
come.
We have an extra room in my
We have
house.
2 houses
We have
in the
two-
suburbs.
yes.
I mean, our parents live there, but 2 basements.
You know what?
There you
They're
go.
roommates.
I'd
bro.
live with
They're
your
roommates,
parents,
roommates.
both of your parents.
Yeah, they are.
They're
they
amazing.
They
Are you in the city then?
I am in the city.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
it's,
I
yeah,
will
it's
be
real
back in
nice.
the-
Real nice payment, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, is it rough?
I will be back in the
not
city
the
at
best.
some point, but it's just like to me, I'm all about like I said earlier, like doing things for your future self.
Yeah.
Today, like what would Michael tomorrow want from Michael today? Because that's the only way you can, like, if you're not constantly being defined by that, you're gonna inevitably fall back into your bad
Yeah.
habits. You're gonna inevitably fall back into your routine behaviors that got you into the place that you are today that you're not happy with.
And then you're going to be hating yourself, your present self.
And then
Yeah.
you're going to be hating your present self tomorrow, and then it's just this constant cycle,
Yeah.
and you never really get out of it. And I think most people live like that, and people are not going to understand you. They're going to think you're crazy, but
Yeah.
that's most people. And how do most people live their life right now? Most people are fat. They're unhappy. They're lazy.
Don't bring
they're
that
weak.
up. I can't fit any
Yeah.
of
This
these
man,
suits.
Oh my
he's like,
god!
I'll
All
tell you the
3 of
story.
you need to stop with that one.
No,
Look,
this-
I have a reason. I'm going to explain it after he's done with the statement.
No,
Carry
but
on.
you were saying that. You're like, I gained. I'm like, you look good
Dude.
right now, bro.
I had all my suits have to be tailored because I got a weird frame, right? And this morning I had an
Sleeper
outfit
build,
picked
if
out.
you will.
What's up?
Sleeper build, if you will.
Sleeper.
I have every now and then I have a gut. I'm 167 pounds right now, which is insane for a 5'7" man. Okay, rounding up a little bit. All right. So actually, after surgery, I got a little taller. By the way,
Oh, they added
Did you
it on.
really?
if I knew about this shit before, bro,
Wait, now I want to get this.
No, you don't.
I'll show you at the X-rays. It's actually not that bad. Look, I can turn my head and everything. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's good now. I mean,
Hell yeah. But that has caused me to gain a little bit of weight, specifically in my gut. I had a whole outfit, bro. I had a green suit. You weren't going to stand a chance
Yeah,
when
I
I
would've
pulled up
been-
in. That's why I said you got lucky today.
Yeah, I did
okay?
get lucky.
This is my
I
second
dodged the
outfit.
bullet.
It was like, what do you call olive green? Was it olive green? Matching suit, of course. I had the shoes ready, coat, everything ready to go. Couldn't even get the zipper up, bro.
Wow.
Whoa.
Not even the zipper. You know what? And I actually ripped the pants. I ain't gonna lie to you. The side kind of ripped up. And I went and tried the backup pair of pants. Zipper went up. Couldn't get the button.
Backup pair.
This is
Even
the backup.
clothes.
Even
Backup
close.
clothes.
Two pairs. Even close. Two pairs.
Because I got this tailor when I was a little chunky. This
Oh
one fit
my
perfectly fell.
goodness.
Yeah.
No,
But
I think
Well,
we're getting
you're
big
not
over here.
You're not
You're
even chunky. Oh,
no, I think I thought you were looking.
think?
I didn't know.
You think he's a guy?
What's all here?
You know
bro?
what? And you know what though? It's the winter. Get a little
It is
extra.
the winter.
Yeah, you're right. I need the warmth.
You
Dude,
do
it's
need
cold
to-
out today.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm not a cold person.
And with you, once you're back in the swing of things, you just shed it real quick.
I would. I'm back in the cold plunge.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I wanted to
Are
leave
you
so
a big
bad.
cold? Are you a cold plunge guy? Like you're one of those?
Yes, but not for the health benefits.
No.
I'm a psycho mentally, so it's like I need to be in there, like, because it's hard. So I don't look forward to doing it. I'm like,
So you have to.
you really got to bitch out over 4 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I went in there for the first time after surgery, like last week, right? In 2 minutes in, I wanted to get out so bad. I usually do 4 minutes, not a big deal, right? 3, I'm like, I want to get out so bad.
Yeah.
I'm going to power through 1 more minute. After a minute, I just couldn't take it. It was too cold.
Yeah.
I leave, I'm like, you really couldn't handle another minute?
Yeah.
Like, you have so many minutes in the day, in the hour. You
There's
couldn't handle 1 minute?
There's a
Came back the next day. So,
like a dog, like a dog. Was it at the gym that you do this?
Yeah.
They there's
That's nice, actually.
a part
That's
of your
awesome.
there's a part of your brain. I don't know what it is. I was listening to a podcast about it that like only gets activated by doing things specifically that you like
Don't wanna do.
that you don't want to do.
It's like
So
it
even if you're
shocks
doing-
you
Yeah.
probably.
So even if you're
Yeah.
doing like super hard things, if you
Yeah.
start to like weightlifting for me, I genuinely enjoy weightlifting.
hate that shit.
So it's fun. It's like it's a fun thing for me to do. So it doesn't activate like that. It doesn't work out that muscle.
Yeah.
So there's a part of you that needs to
Is that
constantly.
why you're doing these marathons?
No, I didn't even do. I got hurt when I was training for mine. I
Yeah.
was running got to half marathon essentially
It's good
training,
enough.
and I hurt my leg.
It's good enough.
I would say that's
I will
pretty
never be
good.
that person.
Yeah.
Speaking
I'm
of
not a
that,
I'm with
though-
Sasha on this
Thank
one.
you.
Speaking of that, though, if your neck's better by that point, I don't know if it will be, but in May, are you gonna
I
be able
can't
to
do
fight?
it.
Fight
They told me
you're
I'm not even allowed to spar
not even allowed
Wow.
to spar
for life. But what do they know about me?
They
Right.
don't know that you
So-
got that
He's
dog.
like, this
in
is
you.
a challenge.
Exactly.
I should try.
They don't.
I don't know why. Like, I have to challenge myself. Otherwise, and then I feel proud of myself for accomplishing it.
Yeah.
I
So,
think that's normal.
yeah.
It's a really good mindset to have.
Right?
I think a lot of people get complacent. They don't want to do those
Yeah.
things. I think most people are complacent and don't want to.
Even me, honestly. That's why I have
I
to do it.
play some of the time.
Yeah, but
Sometimes
I
on the
think
couch,
that's
I'm
good.
like,
And I think that there's a difference between like one thing to differentiate too is like there's a difference between complacency and gratitude. Like you
Yeah.
can be grateful for all the things you have. Because that's one of the problems that I had. I'm like, I can never be happy with what I have now because
Yeah.
then I'll lose that spark and I'll lose that drive. It's like, no, you can appreciate what you have now and be grateful for it while still having that energy and that grit and that drive.
it's a very healthy approach.
I think that's.
Yeah.
I think that's.
Healthy
I
approach.
think,
It's like-
I think you have. I think you have.
I think you'll be a lot happier than most.
Well, if you have too much one way or the other, I think you're gonna end up
Yeah.
too much. If you're just sit there like I'm just so grateful and I want, you're gonna move nowhere. And the
Yeah.
needle's never gonna move. But if you're also never complacent, you're never gonna be allowed to be in the present moment.
You'll never be
That was
satisfied,
more
yeah.
me, and still is more me. I would say if there's a meter of it, it's definitely more
Yeah.
on that side. Try and work it back towards.
Yeah,
the
you're
middle.
young. You'll learn.
Yeah,
You'll
you
grow.
learn. You
You'll be
learn.
alright.
You learn. You grow. You meet people. You hang out.
Are you
with
doing the
Aram.
fight thing again this year?
No, but I
Gordy
think
is.
Gordy's gonna do it.
Gordy, I gotta come support you,
And
bro.
that is
I'll
the
be in your
last
corner.
of the recap.
No,
you're doing.
Oh, next
Now we're gonna get you in there.
2026, we're getting the claws out.
Yeah, I'll be
Sasha's
gone.
I love it. There are girls that fight in it though.
Yeah.
There's
Really?
two
Oh,
girl
yeah.
fights. So I actually, I'm
I'll
not
be
just
the person that holds up
the ring
freaking-
girl.
The ring girl.
I'm not,
That
just,
works.
I'm not
That
just.
works.
I'm not just saying this though. I would be kind of concerned if Sasha got in that ring. She would kill somebody.
Are you like violent? Are you Russian?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be.
Yeah,
They strong.
they strong.
Yeah.
And strong-willed.
They live in the cold, bro.
And strong.
They
And
live in the cold.
Strong-willed, yeah.
Yeah.
They wake up every day and they choose to stay there.
I have seen Sasha angry, and let me tell you.
Yeah.
Was she angry at you?
No, she's never. She's been angry at me, but
Not
just
like actually angry.
But if
at
she's
you.
ever, if
More
she's
like
ever,
annoyed with
but
you.
if she's ever angry or
Yeah.
it's just scary. I mean,
It's very scary.
It's scary for me
know.
too.
So we don't want no beef, Sasha. We don't want no
We
beef.
don't want no
No
beef.
beef, nothing.
He'll be
We
the
don't-
only one to fight.
Yeah,
I'll be there to
yeah,
support you.
let's go.
Yeah.
I'll be your cheat. I got a little pom-pom shit. I got you, bro.
It was.
Now, I
it was-
want to do it so bad, bro, but
Well, you
Oh.
can you just give it
probably
another year. You
they told
definitely
me
can.
6 months for it to fuse and another 6 months for it to heal. So the following year should be okay.
And it's not just
Okay.
real estate brokers, obviously. It's anybody who's involved in real estate.
Yeah, you're an electrician.
I fought an electrician.
I'll fuck that guy up.
Yeah.
Respectfully, of course.
I fought an electrician.
Respectfully.
It's a fundraiser.
It's a fundraiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a charity event, so it's not sanctioned. So you can't have. They can't have judges there. They have to raise both arms.
Oh,
I know.
but we
Yeah,
know.
But
who
he
won.
won.
Yeah. Well,
The crowd knows who
I'm
won.
gonna raise my own hand first.
the crowd kind of know. I mean, especially if you get counted or knocked out, then
Yeah.
it's like, okay, we know who won.
Yeah.
But it's a cool experience, and you would
Yeah.
crush it in it. But
I'd love to do it,
There
bro.
are some people that are pretty like most people that do it are people that have like backgrounds in fighting.
I've been training for like 4 years.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Like, it didn't look like it.
There's
No.
maybe
I'll
one
just-
fight.
So
Some of them, yes.
training and sparring and fighting is so different. 'Cause
Exactly.
Yeah, I
did,
can't
like, I look
imagine.
so good on the boxing bag, and I'm like, and I see my own footage. I'm
Oh,
like, what
yeah.
the fuck,
Bro, that was me when I was looking at my doing pad work with my
Yeah.
coach. I'm like, Is that Rocky?
Did you not spar before the?
No, I sparred.
Okay,
I sparred,
okay.
and I watched my videos spar. But
Is
even
that Rocky? He said.
But even sparring is like, I mean, once you're in the fight and you got all the people there and the noise, and then there's your friends, and then you're like, oh shit.
The performer has to come out.
The
then.
performer, and you have
Yeah.
to keep those. You have to remain calm.
Come
Yeah,
under
but that's
pressure.
hard.
Very hard. Your nerves are like running. Even if you're like so prepared, and you're like, I'm gonna kill this guy.
Yeah.
You're still in the back of your head, like, what happens if he just catches me good? Because it's
You
one
a
thing.
headgear, no?
There's so
True,
much
true.
adrenaline.
Yeah.
And I will say with the headgear and you're wearing 16-ounce gloves, so like if you're
Yeah.
you have to catch somebody.
Go to the body is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to catch somebody
You were
really.
built.
You have to. Yeah, you have
During
to.
that
Yeah, I
time.
saw that picture. I was like, God damn.
Yeah, that was my.
Who put
peak.
this man on my feed?
Yeah, that
Let me mute his account. I don't want nobody randomly see me see this.
chill. My girl was on this.
Yeah, for real.
I got a lot of clients. I'm kidding.
I don't know about that, but maybe we'll take it. But yeah, it was a cool experience. So if and when, I mean, Gordy next year, and then you the following year.
I'm
just
so
keep
in.
passing the torch.
Yeah, let's just do it.
Because I think I need a crowd. Like, I don't want to just fight some
you're
random bar.
You're a performer. Yeah, no.
That's why I need something.
That's what I'm saying.
Give me some juice.
You would.
Besides, the guy I train with, he's like a pro, and he's so violent.
Yeah.
So
But you train jujitsu, yeah?
No, God, no.
What do you
I
do?
say that's how I hurt my neck. Funny
Is it
enough, the one day I did
What do
jujitsu.
you train? Muay Thai?
Kickboxing or?
I do, yeah, kickboxing, Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
But we box too. Like, so the training is either or, and whenever we spar, it's usually boxing. But I got one arm. I don't know if you know this.
Yep,
My right
yep.
dislocates on site.
Yeah.
But so I only spar with my left. But they don't gotta know that.
Wow.
Yeah, that is.
But I'll trick him with this. They think I'm gonna throw it. I'm just, hey.
I feel like I've known him for as long as I've known you. You've always had some sort of ailment.
I know, right? What the hell, guy?
Every time. You
Get it
just-
together.
You just are injury prone. There's some people that are.
I'm not injury prone. I just push myself past my limitation.
I like that.
I think
What do
that's
you,
a better
I
way
got
to do
another
it.
question for
Fire
you, I
away.
guess. I guess it kind of just needs to do with like mindset. So
Mm-hmm.
what do you think like what drives you to like keep going with all this stuff? Like I feel like a lot of it can
Great question.
First of all,
Great question.
That is a
energy
great
draining,
question.
You know, it's a lot.
A
Definitely
lot of
put
it's
into
because
it.
like you can. So it's like if I know I can, if I don't, then I'll have to live with the fact that I didn't. I don't think I can live with that.
Yep.
And that'd be like what keeps me going now, because like you really don't need much to live a good life, to be honest. Like, you don't really need to make $1 million a year.
No,
Right.
you
No.
don't.
Why am I working hard to get there? Because I know I can. I've met a person that makes $1 million a year. I look at him, I'm like, you're shorter than me. You have an accent. I don't.
And I'm
I could
far-
do it. You're
I'm-
50.
I'm
you
far
know?
more
Yeah,
handsome.
yeah.
I'm far more
I
handsome.
have hair. No offense, right? I'm just joking around, but like I've seen it, I'm like, if they could do it, I could do it. So I would say that's what pushes me today. But what got me here, I would say, making sure that my family's taken care of.
Yep.
That's priority number one. You know, because I want to have kids one day. I have a single mom, so I gotta make sure her bills are paid. And then if I have a wife and kid, I'm not trying to have them live in some God knows whatever bad places.
Yeah,
you know?
bad places. And
I
we
want
want
my kid to be-
we don't want you getting in trouble. Like, why you're not a real estate
I
agent
want my
anymore.
kid to be on a podcast one day, be like, you know what, I actually grew up pretty nice.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like,
You want
shout
to
out to
talk
dad.
like Michael
Yeah.
Kaplan just talked about his parents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm a disciplined demo.
But you're
Yeah.
you don't want him growing up in one of the neighborhoods that you sneak dissed on your YouTube video that got
No,
taken down.
no.
So you have to.
Now you gotta.
You're
you
not
gotta-
a
you gotta-
broker. You're not a
Alright.
broker anymore, so you can
Yeah,
tell
no, I
this
can say
story.
whatever I want.
And then
It's
after
okay.
this, I think we'll wrap it up. I
Okay,
think we'll
perfect.
be good on time. But
So I think this was 2018. And I'm like, I have a great idea. Local content goes a long way on YouTube because it's a search engine, right? I'm going to make something spicy. Put a little season on it. I'm going to make 5 most dangerous neighborhoods in Chicago. Who
as a
wouldn't
real
want to watch
estate
that?
broker, he's making this.
It's genius. I'm like, I look it up,
I'm
not
gonna
a
make $1
single
million.
video. Nobody's made that. I'm in a blue
Why,
ocean.
why not?
Why
There's
not?
an
That's what I'm
opening.
saying. Are they dumb?
You're like, oh my
missing
god,
out.
I just found it. I found it.
Dude, I thought I was a genius. So I go and I literally look up an article and then it's okay, it had a list of 5.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, perfect. I'll reference the article. It's not my opinion. I'm referencing an article.
Okay.
Right? And I even said it like, listen, these are not my opinions. This is based on this article that is linked below. These are the 5 most dangerous neighborhoods in Chicago, right? And then I told everybody like the sale prices on the real estate side, average home price is this, days on market is that, blah, 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 right? And then number 3 was Washington Park. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, it's fine.
Washington
you're
Park.
not a broker anymore.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you're not a broker.
So and I'm like, this is actually a great area because I'm seeing it like there's an uptick in prices. It's right next to Hyde Park. Like it's in front of a beautiful park. Like you're gonna be fine. You should buy something here. I was right, even though it was 6 years ago. I guess anything I would have picked would have been right because
That's
the
true.
market's
Because the
exploding.
market gone out the
But we're gonna take it
chains.
that I was right, right? And I put it up. getting good engagement. A couple people are saying I'm redlining. I'm like, that's not even what redlining means, you idiot. Whatever. I let it go. And then I get I'm leaving a showing. I get a random call from this very sweet lady. Hey, is this Aram? I thought it was a sales call. And I was about to be rude. I said, you know what? Let's be nice. Because I call, let's be nice. I'm like, yeah, it's Aram. What's up? He's like, yeah, this is blah, blah, blah from Main Street Organization of Realtors. I said, why are they calling? Did I not pay my bill? Probably. I mean, who knows? They're like, yeah, we're calling because you made a YouTube video? I'm like, I make a lot of YouTube videos, man. Which one are you referring to? She goes like, title 5 most dangerous neighborhoods in Chicago. That one will do. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, what about it? She goes like, well, you can't just do that, okay? We've gotten hundreds of complaints. The city of Chicago is calling us, their association, because you're one of our agents. So, like, we need you to take it down. My dumbass. Well, what if I don't? Because I'm like, it's a great video. It's like it's good. It's
getting good engagement.
It's doing good numbers because I'm the only one who's ever posted this ever.
Dude, I had 500 views with 2,000 subs, so I'm up. Right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what's the consequences to this? She goes like, well, you could lose your license and pay $25,000 fine. I said, ooh. Well, the only way I know how to make money right now is being a real estate agent, so we can't be losing them. So on the phone, I deactivated it, right? The problem is, when you get in trouble, your brokerage gets in trouble. So I couldn't keep it under the radar. I get a call. My managing broker is blowing up my phone. The owner of my brokerage is blowing up my phone. I'm just like,
Yeah.
later. All right, I'm like, whatever. And then I get to the office. What's up?
Let them sleep on
Yeah.
it.
Maybe they'll forget about it the next day.
So they emailed me. They're like, we need you to come to the office ASAP. I was like, fuck. I go in there. I'm like, what's up? She's like, so are you kidding me?
That's actually a
I'm
good way
like,
of
guys,
doing
it's
it.
really not that bad.
Yeah.
He goes like, let's watch the video. Like,
He goes like,
He pulled up the video.
I pulled it. I had it on my hard drive.
Oh my.
So I pulled up the video and then I deleted it everywhere else.
Yeah.
Because they wanted a copy. I said, I ain't giving no blackmail on me.
He put gunshot background noises in the video.
I did it. But when you watch it back with the perspective of, ooh, this might be off. This is on the, because I knew I was in the gray. I didn't think I was in the dark.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I'm watching it back and I'm like, get at my broker. I'm like, okay, now that I see it.
Yeah.
I see it. It's been taking time. We have no beef.
Yeah.
And this is the funny story. Like a year later, I'm actually doing a tour in the city with actually the agent I told you in this office. So we had just finished that tour. We're walking to another place, and this random dude stops. He's like, I know you. I'm like, probably because of my YouTube from 2,000 subscribers. You know?
Yeah, I'm famous.
And he goes like, no, I know you from somewhere else. Did you make a video about Chicago? I was like, oh, no. I'm like, I did. He goes like, I was the president of the board when that came through my desk. I said, you got to be kidding me. He goes like, I loved your enthusiasm. I thought it was a great video. You can't do shit like that. I was like, well, thanks very much.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I had so many complaints come through. We didn't file a formal complaint. So if they filed a formal complaint, it would have been an issue. A lot of them was like, hey, we're bringing this to your attention, right? So I was very lucky to get it in the bud before that happened. He goes
slap
like,
on the wrist.
Slap on the wrist. Not even
okay.
that. They didn't give me nothing.
Like,
just delete it.
So
Yeah, people don't know that. Like, as real estate brokers, we're not allowed to talk anything about, obviously, the obvious ones: race, sexual identity, whatever, age, religion.
I think it was like family too.
But crime and like safety is another is one of those things. So, like, people ask us about like, oh, is this neighborhood dangerous? Like, we can't answer that.
can't do it.
You know
Google
what I
it.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
Google
can
it.
say,
Yeah, Google it. That's exactly it. I mean, I say it if it's a client, I have to say it in a little bit nicer way, but essentially, the long and short of it is Google it, you know?
See, now as a retired agent, I could just say, I don't buy in the ghettos.
And
This with the Section 8 bullshit.
And we can't say any. Yeah.
and I have no comment.
And y'all can't say
No comment.
nothing.
No
That's
comment.
right.
And I have no comment.
Actually, we were just talking to a wholesaler on the way here. He goes like, so where do you buy? I'm like, as long as I don't get shot, I'm buying. But if I don't see somebody walking their dog outside, I don't want to go.
Oh my god.
I don't want to go. That's my telltale sign. Like, how do I know it's a great area? If I walk in, someone just walking a dog daylight or at night, I'm like, they feel safe.
Yeah.
I feel safe.
That's actually
Exactly.
honestly.
We're good.
Yeah.
I can see
So
that.
what the schools are for?
We can work on it.
We can work on it.
It's so fun.
But it's got to be a small dog because anyone could walk with a pit bull or like a Rottweiler, right? Because you feel safe. If you got a little Chihuahua, well, they don't even need to
walking at
walk.
night.
Little Shih Tzu,
Little Shih Tzu. There you
little
go.
cute little tail on them.
Gordy's a Shih Tzu guy.
Yeah, I got 2 at home.
I got one at home.
See,
You do?
They're so
Shih Tzu
adorable.
guys.
So cute.
Oh my
They don't
God.
shed. They don't litter.
It's the best thing ever.
The best
they
thing
don't
ever.
do anything.
Why do anyone get like a lab? Ugh.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Leave
get
hair everywhere.
You are gonna get so much hate.
Who got
You.
labs? They don't got labs?
Nobody. I'm just
We
saying.
got a
if
German
some-
Shepherd.
God. you had a hair factory. Is what you
Yeah,
had.
it's pretty bad.
Okay.
But this is our first dog that sheds. Before we had a dog that didn't shed. We also
Life was
have
better
another-
that way, right?
No.
Yeah.
He's so cute.
Yeah.
You
I'll deal
hesitated.
with it. It was easier.
funny.
That's all I'll say.
Now, your next dog, will it be a shedding dog? Or?
This is my family's dog, so
Okay.
I don't have to deal with the hair unless I'm there.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different.
Bury the
It's
lead,
a little
yeah.
bit different.
Yeah.
See, I'm biased because I'm allergic, so I can't. If they did shed,
No,
I'd
but
be-
you're
You
good
a
around
cat
my
guy?
dogs.
What about the
Yeah,
cat?
because your dog's
our dogs
the cat
are
I'm allergic to
hypoallergenic.
too.
Oh, yeah,
but
they
he
are.
doesn't live with me.
Yeah.
He lives with my brother.
Good point.
Bro, you've been in my house.
I know, but that dog don't shed.
So you're not allergic to dogs. You're just allergic to the bad ones.
This is
Look at
gonna
that.
create so much
We-
controversy.
we cured
I love
him.
it. We cured him. We cured you.
You're
Kind of a
welcome.
doctor now, bro.
You're welcome.
kinda
Yeah,
love
no,
that. I love
I definitely want a dog at some point.
Yeah, eventually.
see.
When
Not-
when the schedule's a little bit more
Yeah, it's
stable.
crazy.
It's
I
too
can't even
tough.
hang out with this guy. He's busier than the Pope.
I know.
Okay.
Well, I will say, I look at it and I'm like, when I do stuff that's on the investing side, I do have the same sentiment as you. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, like I do work a lot, but it's a lot from the computer. It's a lot making phone calls.
Yeah.
You got to remember this part of like when you're a broker working in the business is most of what you do.
That's true. Yeah.
As an investor, most of what you do is working on your business.
Yeah.
And the difference between the two is working in your business means you got to be somewhere. Working on your business means you could be in,
Florida.
Chicago or wherever the hell you
Florida.
want. You know what I mean? Florida.
That's where my family lives.
That's where her
Yeah.
family. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
really?
Yes.
Nice.
So it's a different thing. I think we all have aspirations to get into real estate investing more and more as time
Yes.
goes on. But
Yeah.
we love the brokerage side because it's our way of helping people and a way of.
I also
Also
think
fun.
it kind of, I mean, from your experience, do you think that it helped you make your own decisions? Like being a broker.
Yeah.
You
As an
saw
investor?
a lot. Yeah, like as an investor, you think that those
Yeah.
years like helped you to be
Undoubtedly.
that?
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I
That's
think
why
that
like
that's great.
That's why I haven't made it like any major mistakes because I know how to run comps. I don't just rely on a wholesaler's evaluation of what the property's.
Yeah,
gonna be
because
worth.
they're all smoking crack.
the worst.
It's insane.
So no,
I see a wholesaler they're posting on the Facebook. I mean, here's the
ARV
thing. If a
450.
wholesaler is posted on the Facebook group, it's probably already beat. That's
Yeah.
the number one thing. But two, you see, and they're like, oh, ARV's 450 grand. It's like, bro, what?
Nothing sold for that
Nothing
price.
sold
Yeah.
for that price ever within a 5-mile radius.
Bro, somebody will buy it.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. Somebody
Yeah.
will buy it. So it has absolutely helped me,
Yeah.
but that took me 6 years,
Yeah.
right?
Do you think it was necessary?
No.
Okay.
I wish if I could go back in 19-year-old, because I just didn't know. Like, how
Yeah.
am I supposed to know, right? But if I had asked an investor, like, hey, I want to be an investor, I'm going to get my real estate license and learn the game and get into investing, like people tell me that all the time. I was like, well, hold on. Do you want to be an agent or do you want to be an investor?
Yeah.
Want to be an investor. Then what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know?
I see both sides. I somewhat would agree, I think.
Yeah.
But I think that also,
It doesn't hurt.
it doesn't hurt.
It's one of those, it's a Roth IRA.
It's a Roth IRA.
Brokers are
See, I
Roth
circled
IRA.
it back.
The king of the circle back. The king of the circle back. I think
Yeah.
it is. It's not the worst thing you could do. And
Yeah.
I think for a lot of people, some people like, I don't know, they just love doing it. I don't know. I'm not built that way though. I don't want to
Yeah.
be like, 40 years old and doing open houses.
No,
That's
personal.
true. I mean, that's absolutely
But
be
we
the
also
goal
have
to
a-
not do
but-
that.
But
Yeah.
the difference between you and I too is, and you kind of, I think, started it towards the end, but then
Yeah.
you ended up leaving brokerage. Is I built out a team, so
Yeah.
that kind of has helped in all of our lives, being able to like delegate things out and help each other
Yeah.
when we can. So it's not as maybe like a one-man show where it's like
It's- yeah.
everything relies on
It's a
you.
little bit more fun though,
For-
too. You come in
it
the
is
office, you guys
fun.
are here,
Right?
you know.
Well, and
Yeah.
like for example, like Gordy and I just went to Iowa one of the weekends to visit one of my buddies, and
Nice.
Yeah,
Sasha
like-
took care of all the stuff while we were gone. Sasha's
Shout
gonna
to
be going
Sasha.
to Florida to visit her family, and then Gordy and I will be handling the stuff when she's gone. So it's a little bit more of like
Yeah.
that.
Now that's
dynamic.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
scalable.
that's
sir.
scalable.
Yeah.
That's scalable,
Yeah.
and
It's
I think
definitely
that's
helpful for me. I don't know, like how would I go home ever?
It would be it's different.
You literally
I mean, I
could.
could.
Or-
I would have to just pay some random person, which I would rather give it to
Yeah.
give my work
That
to
you
somebody that I
trust.
trust and know will do a good job.
or you
That's
work on
true.
a team that's more like. But if you work on a lot of these teams, the way they're structured is you end up being just a 9 to 5 employee anyways, which isn't the reason you got
That's
into
not
real
what you signed
estate.
up for, yeah.
You did not get it. You did not get your real estate license because you want to work a corporate job. You got
It has
real
to be
estate.
growth opportunity.
Right.
It has to be
And
growth
people have to
opportunity.
feel, and that's, I guess, while they're here. I mean, that's why I have everything. Why we have things laid out the way we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is to make it feel like we're growing a business together, and
Right.
it's not Michael, it's not Gordy, it's not Sasha, it's the REKAP group as a whole. It's not the Michael Kaplan group.
Yeah.
It's not Michael Kaplan, with the entourage. It's all of us.
Which
all
is,
one.
how did you get so lucky with the name REKAP? Real, R-E
Real estate.
is
Real
real
estate,
estate,
yeah.
cap. Like,
I
are
know.
you kidding me, bro?
Yeah.
I can't put my
Yeah,
last
that
name
was
on
all him.
anything.
That was
him.
that
That's
was me.
him.
I came. I don't know what I was doing, but it
And
just
I don't
it
think
just
you
came.
were looking to start a team.
No,
either.
I don't.
That's
I
how the best
think
ones
it was
start. You just necessity or like just
It wasn't.
happens.
It was necessity,
Yeah.
and I think I was just wanted it to be like the personal branding for myself. I'm like, I'm Recap. That's me. That's my real estate persona.
Yeah.
That's my alter ego. Then all of a sudden, Recap became Recap Group. Once we started doing, bigger projects, we were getting buyers, sellers. We were doing huge, big lease ups, and we
Yeah,
just
that was
needed.
great.
Yeah, we
we
hit
just
the ground running.
You guys
We
are
just-
handling some business out here.
Yeah.
Couldn't
we
handle
are
the corporate
I mean,
world
I-
anymore.
no.
I came to him like sobbing. I was like, I
Really?
hate my job.
Yeah.
I need to do this.
But respect on you for actually jumping off
Thanks,
the
you
off
too.
the
You
bandwagon.
did the
you
same
Oh
know?
my
thing.
gosh!
That's
I mean,
way harder to
Gordy
do.
was gonna go to
Yeah.
law school.
I was literally going to law
Gonna be a
school.
I
good-
think I remember
good
this.
Yeah.
Jewish attorney. I mean,
I pivoted.
those.
I mean, I
We
pivoted.
could have used one of you.
The world needs more.
Yeah, we need
Just what
plenty
we
more
need.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
No, I pivoted hard and like,
Yeah.
I mean, my family was shocked.
Yeah.
Everybody's jaw was on the floor. I was like,
Yeah.
trying it out.
What
I
up?
mean, what's the worst that can happen? You can always go back to law school.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the
Right?
day
Yeah.
too. Like
I could fall back
I
on my
know this
degree.
maybe
Yeah.
is
Right.
I can't.
I
But I,
can- yeah, I
know,
can fall
I know
back
this
on my
is kind of
degree.
Oh, you
morbid.
don't got one?
I've got one.
Raise
Hey,
your
you
hand
know-
if you don't have a degree in this.
I mean, I'm not gonna
That's
count
that
my
side of the
degree.
room?
I'm not counting my degree.
Yeah.
I have a communications degree. It doesn't count. No offense.
You've been a great communicator. so
yeah.
far.
Yes.
That's right.
I think it counts. What's your degree in?
Marketing and sales.
I mean, you're kind of doing it, no?
I know.
Yeah,
There you
It's
go.
the same
What's
thing.
your degree in?
What would it have been in?
No, what's it in?
Wasn't it
Oh,
accounting
nothing.
or something?
I don't have a
That's
degree.
crazy.
You do?
Ask me.
Do you have a degree?
I have a degree in art and science. 2 of them.
2 associates degrees.
Doesn't matter. 2 associates equals
No,
a bachelor's.
I might
Everyone
have.
knows
I
that.
might have an associate's degree. I
But
don't.
all I have to
know.
do is check a box. And they
I
mail it to me.
spent 2 years in
There we
college.
go.
But again, what's the worst that could happen? I think this is maybe a little morbid, but like we're on this earth if you're lucky for 100 years. Like you,
I don't even want to be here that long.
like we're gonna
100.
blink and it's gonna be gone.
80,
It's like
get me a potty.
who
Yeah.
cares? Like,
Yeah, just do
not-
whatever.
Like
80,
not-
I'm running
yeah,
on
like,
empty for
not
sure.
who cares? Like you want to
Yeah.
be a good person, live a respectable life. It's like who really cares? Like do you think?
Bro, I'm
yeah.
gonna piggyback off this. I just because of the surgery, like it's kind of like it was a what do you call it? A grounding experience,
Yeah.
right? Because I took life so serious. Like I'm never getting a tattoo. I'm not doing like things I might
Yeah,
regret,
I
right?
didn't do that.
Yeah, never
And
doing
I'm
that.
sitting here, I'm like, you have one,
I
right?
have
They both
tattoos,
do.
all my-
I mean, I want some, right?
Yeah.
Now I don't give a damn. I'm like, bro, tomorrow my neck could just give out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna enjoy while I'm here. You
stuff
know,
like that makes you
So-
realize, like, again, I keep going back to death, but I think it's a great, like, it's morbid as it is, like, death or big things that shake up your life are the things that
Give you the most
make
clarity.
they
Yeah.
give you the most clarity and make you take a step back and be like, damn, like you think you have everything figured out. I came off of 2023,
Yeah.
which was by far my best year in real estate thus far. I'd sold a $3 million house in Hinsdale. I was lining
missed that.
It's all good. It's all good.
off.
So-
Cut that
you know what? Because you'll
Who uses
understand.
their left hand?
I know. It's because I got this one blocked. It's
Oh,
my
yes,
lip.
yes,
But I was like mentally, I was like miserable. I was like and I'm like, what's this all like? At the end of the day, if you're not enjoying it,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying every day has to be paradise, and you have to, but it's like, stop taking shit so serious. Like life, you have to enjoy life. You have to take a step back, enjoy the small things.
Get
because it's
to
not-
coffee.
I think you
Yeah.
learned that
And
though,
get
over
these-
time.
Get 2 coffee.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
I've learned
there
that
was a
from,
period of time where I was like, you need to take a chill pill.
for the first 3 years.
Maybe that's why the text messages are so rough.
Yeah.
I'm still,
bad day.
we're still working on that. But no, for the first 3 years in real estate, it was that. It was,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't care about anything
Yeah.
else. I don't care. Like, I need to just work all the time, and I don't really care about, like, I just want to make money in this. And it's like, I think there needs to be a reason why you're doing things, and something that pushes you along. Otherwise, you'll get burned.
But if you didn't work that hard, would you have been here this fast?
Exactly. True.
Yeah, so you don't.
So it's-
you
it's
can't
all-
live with the
2 years of
regret.
grinding
Yeah.
to chill. It's not that
Right.
bad.
All
you
the
know?
advice, what was it? It was like something that I heard on another pod. It's like,
Oh, here comes
all-
saying.
He's gonna
Yeah,
say.
here
This
comes.
is but it was like all the advice that these people, like these rich people, are saying that they're saying after they made it, aren't the advice they took to get them to where they are.
Yeah.
When they tell me to buy an FHA rental in house hack, I want to snap this mic in half. Because I'm like, have you tried that shit?
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Have you dealt with an FHA inspector? They got a stick up there, you know what?
They care
Every
about
day of the
peeling
week.
paint.
Yeah. They're like, what do you? They care about the paint. What am I going to eat the paint chips? You think I'm stupid?
Got me going on that one, bro.
Yeah, crazy. We're gonna have to go to
Dumbass
Cafe
advice.
Deck and get 2 coffees and talk about it.
3. I'm gonna need a 3.
But
Oh,
I think
geez.
this was
Yeah.
awesome. This
I
was
agree.
amazing.
It was fun.
We're
That was a
gonna
good
have-
time,
This
right?
was good.
We're gonna have you on again.
Yeah, you're coming on again for sure.
I'll be a regular. Listen, I love to yap. Okay.
Yeah. This is
Get me talking all day. I'm
We're
gonna
all a
start a
bunch of
podcast.
yappers.
Yeah, we all yeah.
That's why this works.
Yeah,
for
like
us.
we have team meetings, and I'm like, okay, so it's gonna be about like a 3-hour meeting, and about 2 hours is just yapping.
It's straight yeah.
And then the 1 hour
Yeah.
is the meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of why we have meetings, right? We're just hanging out
It is hanging
It's
out.
also
with that underlying
It's
business
professionally
tone.
hanging
Yeah.
out.
Professionally hanging out.
Yeah,
This
I'll take
morning,
it.
yeah, Sasha was like Dancing with the Stars. Oh my God, I love it. It's so good. I'm like, I ain't watched that, but
I
You watch
came
Dancing
in-
with the
no, I
Stars?
don't. She
No,
was
I
talking
did.
about it.
I'm gonna participate in that one day. I want to learn how to dance.
You're gonna be a star.
You would be a good
Yeah,
Disney.
I don't want to be a
I feel
star,
like you have
but
the
I want to
rhythm for
dance.
it.
You
have
gotta
the
be.
rhythm.
You gotta
I
be a
got it.
celebrity.
I don't
to
have
be
rhythm.
on
You
it.
either have to
You
be
know.
you
I'll
either
be
have to be a
celebrity.
celebrity or a professional dancer. So
They did have
I'll
a
go
real estate
celebrity
guy
route.
on it once.
Did they?
I forgot his name, but he's like a big like real estate.
the LA
mogul.
guy. Was it
Yeah, in LA. He has a TV show now.
Maurice, was it that guy?
Yeah, Mauricio or something.
Mauricio,
right?
yeah. He owns a brokerage.
He also
Oh,
got
okay.
like a Selling Sunset type
Yeah.
of show.
Got
Selling
it.
Sunset.
Okay, I
Like
guess I'll
those
get on Netflix
Selling
first, and then I
Sunset,
could
those-
dance.
those-
Yes,
There you go.
get on
There you go.
Netflix.
I'll just
first.
dance in my house. It's fine. It's fine. But that's kind of why I wanted to start my own office too. Not my own brokerage, just have my own office so I could do the meetings.
Right.
I want to do the meetings.
You'll bring the coffees for
Yeah,
everyone.
you can.
Hell no. Get your own coffee.
4 coffees just for me. And on
I show what 2 coffees. Who's this for?
Me and myself.
Me and myself. Exactly.
That's funny. But we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
This
of
was-
course,
This was
of
awesome. I
course.
think everybody's going to really like this. You're obviously very successful and have built a very impressive business and impressive life.
Thank you.
And I think it's something that everybody should try and emulate to some capacity. And
Strive for it.
Hell
Why
yeah.
not?
it's a real.
Thank you, my friend.
The American
Why
dream
not?
is alive and well in Aram
do it.
Ghazaryan. That's for sure.
Go.
I'm also.
The man.